Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Fatimah Lubis. I will presentation about English for specific purpose, that is language description. I hope that you can follow my presentation.
Okay, now let's begin to the material. For the first material is, what is the language description? Language description is the way in which the language system is broken down and described for the purpose of learning. And then there are all about language description. For the first is classical or traditional grammar. For the second, structural linguistic. The third is transformational generative. The fourth, language variation and register analysis. The fifth, functional and notional grammar. The sixth is discourse or rhetorical analysis. In language description, there is classical traditional grammar. Traditional grammar, also known as classical grammar, is a framework for the description of the structure of a language. It increases knowledge of how language operates based on an analysis of the role played by each word in sentence. For the examples, Emma was eating gehu yesterday. For the second example is Emma and Annie were eating gehu yesterday. The second is there is structural linguistic. For the first, language is described in terms of syntagmatic structures which carry the fundamental proposition and notion. For the second, the structure of grammatical structure changes based on the change of era or time. It provides a systematic description of the core of the language. For the examples, formerly 9 types and now 16 types. There are so many different from the past until now. And the third is transformational generative. First, language should be seen as a reflection of human thought patterns. Second, producing new sentence from exiting of previous sentence. For the examples, can you open the door? Can you open the door is part of asking capability and request. And can you come to my house? Can you come to my house is the part of request and invitation. The fourth is language variation or register analysis. First, language is used for communication, so it varies. Second, variety of language used in particular situation or purpose or social setting. Third, language varies according to the context of use, formal, informal, written, spoken, self-sufficient, or context-dependent. And the last, there are language forms that tend to be used more frequently in one context than in another. And then the fifth is functional or national grammar. First, they use language based on the speaker's social behaviors or certain nation. Second, functions are concerned with social behavior and represent the intention of speaker or writer. For example, advising, warning, threatening, and describing. And the last is notion, on the other hand, reflects the way in which human mind thinks. They are categories into which the mind of cerebral language divides reality. For the example, time, frequency, duration, gender, number, location, and quality. And the last part of language description is discourse. First, looking at how meaning is generated between sentences. Second, the context of the sentence is also important in creating meaning. Third, analyzing meaning of language based on the context, that is, situation, era, door, time, vocabulary, gesture, conclusion, and tense. I think it's enough to me for delivering this material. I'm sorry if I have so many mistakes in this presentation. Thank you for your best intention, and the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.